La Société du Spectacle by Guy Debord, published in 1967, remains one of the most influential works of critical theory in the 20th century. Debord, a French Marxist theorist and a founding member of the Situationist International, SI, critiques the capitalist system, consumer culture, and the pervasive dominance of mass media. Written as a series of 221 theses, the book dissects how modern society has transformed into a spectacle where social relations are mediated by images and commodities rather than direct human interaction. Its relevance persists in contemporary discussions of media, politics, consumerism, and the alienation of individuals in late capitalism. 1. The concept of the spectacle. At the heart of Debord's work lies the concept of the spectacle. According to Debord, the spectacle is not merely a collection of images, but a social relationship mediated by images. It represents the totalizing effect of mass media, advertising, and consumer culture in shaping our perception of reality. Debord argues that modern society has replaced authentic social life with a series of representations. Reality is no longer experienced directly, but is filtered through images and appearances designed to sell products, lifestyles, and ideologies. The spectacle is both the result and the justification of the capitalist mode of production. It is the logical outcome of a society where commodities dominate social life. In Thesis 1, Debord famously states, "The whole life of those societies in which modern conditions of production prevail presents itself as an immense accumulation of spectacles. This means that social reality is not only reflected in the spectacle, but produced by it." Alienation and commodification. Debord builds on Marx's theory of alienation, where workers become disconnected from the products of their labor, from each other, and ultimately from themselves. In the society of the spectacle, alienation extends beyond the factory floor into every aspect of social life. The individual is not only alienated from labor, but from reality itself. The commodity becomes the mediator of all social relations, and life becomes a series of passive consumptions of images. Debord emphasizes that commodities have ceased to serve real needs, and instead generate artificial desires. The spectacle sells not just products, but identities and experiences. Individuals consume spectacles in search of meaning, happiness, and fulfillment, but these pursuits are inherently empty because they rely on external validation and endless cycles of consumption. The role of media and technology. Mass media plays a central role in sustaining the spectacle. Debord criticizes television, advertising, cinema, and other forms of mass communication as tools that maintain societal control. These media do not merely inform, but structure reality, dictating what is visible and what remains hidden. The result is a fragmented and mediated experience of the world, where people are passive spectators rather than active participants. Debord's analysis anticipates the rise of social media, where individuals curate their lives as a series of carefully constructed images. In this context, the spectacle becomes interactive, but the core logic remains unchanged. Experiences are mediated through representations rather than for. Pseudo-community and isolation. One of Debord's key observations is how the spectacle fosters a sense of pseudo-community. People are united not by shared experiences or collective goals, but by shared consumption of the same images, brands, and narratives. This pseudo-community creates an illusion of connection while deepening social isolation. Individuals are encouraged to identify with celebrities, fictional characters, and corporate brands, rather than with their neighbors or coworkers. This erodes authentic social bonds and replaces them with superficial affiliations mediated through the spectacle. Debord also critiques the way urban environments are designed to reinforce isolation. Shopping malls, highways, and suburbs are structured to promote consumption while discouraging spontaneous social interaction. 5. The spectacle and power. Debord argues that the spectacle serves as a tool of social control. It functions ideologically, reinforcing the dominance of capitalism and suppressing dissent. By presenting certain images as natural and inevitable, the spectacle masks the exploitative and unequal nature of capitalist society. The spectacle not only entertains, but also pacifies. It absorbs and neutralizes radical ideas by commodifying them. Even countercultural movements are often co-opted and turned into fashion trends or marketing campaigns. Debord warns that resistance must avoid being absorbed into the logic of the spectacle. 6. The Debordian critique today. While The Society of the Spectacle was written in the 1960s, its insights remain profoundly relevant. In the era of social media, influencers, and digital advertising, the spectacle has become even more pervasive. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook have turned individuals into both producers and consumers of the spectacle. People brand themselves, monetize their identities, and perform their lives for an invisible audience. Debord's critique also extends to politics, where leaders are often judged not by their policies, but by their media presence and image management. Political campaigns are spectacles, carefully crafted narratives designed to evoke emotional responses rather than rational analysis. Additionally, the rise of virtual and augmented reality technologies suggests a future where the spectacle may fully replace physical reality. Debord's work serves as both a critique and a warning about these developments. Resistance to the spectacle. Debord does not offer a straightforward solution to overcoming the spectacle, but he suggests that true resistance lies in reclaiming authentic social interactions and disrupting the mechanisms of the spectacle. The Situationist International, of which Debord was a leading figure, advocated for practices like détournement, the subversion of cultural symbols, and the construction of situations, ephemeral events designed to break the monotony of everyday life and provoke critical awareness. In today's context, resistance might involve digital detox movements, community-based activism, and alternative media platforms. However, Debord warns that genuine resistance must avoid being co-opted and commodified by the spectacle. Legacy and impact. The Society of the Spectacle has influenced diverse fields, including media studies, political theory, philosophy, and cultural criticism. Its ideas resonate in the works of later theorists such as Jean Baudrillard, who expanded on the concept of simulation and hyperreality. The book also inspired movements like punk rock, anti-globalization protests, and contemporary critiques of digital capitalism. Debord's work remains a foundational text for understanding the ways in which modern society constructs and maintains power through images and representations. It challenges readers to question the media they consume, the identities they adopt, and the systems they participate in. Guy Debord's The Society of the Spectacle is more than a critique of media or consumer culture. It is an analysis of how capitalism has fundamentally altered human relationships and the experience of reality. The spectacle is not merely a distraction, it is the dominant mode of social organization in modern society. Debord's work urges us to see through the spectacle, reclaim authentic human connections, and resist the commodification of life itself. In an age dominated by social media, digital advertising, and algorithm-driven consumption, the Society of the Spectacle serves as both a warning and a call to action. Debord's insights remain as vital as ever, reminding us of the importance of critical thought, authentic experiences, and collective resistance against a world increasingly defined by appearances rather than substance.